Damn, that's a lot of wolves. Wow. No kitties. I read there was a cave here at Nordstrom Creek. Whoa. 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 No way. Incredible. Oh. It's quiet. Okay. Whoa. No light visible. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that thing? What the fuck is that critter? I ain't never seen that like that. It's like a fucking cave cricket. What the fuck? Whoa. Yeah, that's it. Huh. Yeah, a little mushroom. Wow. Yeah. You can see this being used for sure. Wow. A night in the cave. Well, I mean, pretty nice cave. Oh, just showing some little crafts here. This is a tiller handle extension for when I'm seated. I can fit that into there, and then from my seating position I can kind of, without having to get my hand wet is the idea. I can perhaps avoid getting my hand wet all day, and this will kind of go over my lap. I'll show it actually working later. Will it work? I don't know. We'll see. But a little piece of wood. I'll also manage a little pipe for my pipe weed. How about that? It even stands, kind of. It's a slope surface here, but look at that. Keeping busy here out in the field. Yeah. All right. Still here at Nordstrom Creek. Beautiful sunny morning, and taking some time to look at this transmitter again here. This sonar transmitter. Yeah, I'm not getting a good image and a good bottom on it. And there was a bunch of rocks in here when I took this out, rocks, and I don't know if that was interfering with it. Kind of wish I could just have the actual transducer sitting kind of open at the bottom without this plate in between for sand and stuff to get in here. I think sand and debris is actually dampening this thing's ability to transmit and receive. Also thinking of maybe just like cutting a hole, like cutting a channel through here for this thing maybe to transmit a little more easily through the water and have less likelihood of sand getting in there. Ideally, I would just 3D print a new one of these with just like a big channel here. And then I don't have to cut this factory one up, but well, this one's already all kind of scratched up anyways, so we'll see. I think what I'm going to do for now is I think I'm actually going to try epoxying this transducer to this plate. My hope thinking that it'll be able to transmit more effectively through the water if it's like firmly attached to a larger plate, is my thought. I don't know, maybe that's not going to work out. I'm not going to go crazy with the epoxy, so I think I'll be able to peel it off if I need to, but I might give it a shot just to see if that improves it a little bit. I mean, I used to have the sonar just sitting off an arm, just a little transducer, and that worked pretty good. That actually worked great. I would get amazing bottom. It would never lose bottom, and it had great image quality, but can't do that now, I'm afraid. I'm kind of got to go with what I got here. Just looking here, is this discoloration, or is this actually rubbing, or what? I think it's just discoloring. Maybe it's chafing a little bit. Anywho, yeah. Everything else seems in order. Back here, yeah. I don't know. If you guys have any thoughts about getting better image with these Kayak transducer mounts here. It says made for Lowrance, so I don't know, maybe maybe it's only gonna work well with Lowrance. I mean, I don't know. I doubt it, but I'll keep messing around, see if I can improve the image quality somehow here. Well, I was just putting the boat back together, getting ready, and I noticed a spot of corrosion here. I had this shrink tubed all the way, but I guess from where the seat comes down, I must have nicked the shrink tube and salt water got in there, because this place sometimes is like full of water if I take a wave. So salt water got in there and it's been corroding the copper here. I don't know if you can really see that, but it's green corrosion. I'm gonna actually cut this one back here a little bit. I'm gonna cut the green one back, and I'm gonna cut them actually both back, because there's probably salt water that's wicked its way into there. We'll see how far. I mean, I got a fair bit of green I can cut. I just don't want to make this one much shorter. But in any case, I've got a fair bit of cable I can cut to get to clean stuff, and then I'm gonna crimp it together with the Anderson crimps. Yeah, I'm gonna crimp them together and then kind of cover them in hot glue, and then I'm gonna use the self-amalgamating tape to seal that all up, and hopefully I can reseat this back into this little keeper, or into this saddle here, and not let the seat bite into that. Aside from that, no other problems with the electronics or signs of corrosion, so conducting little repairs, it's all part of the fun out here. Some people maybe bring a book to read. I bring an overly complex solar power setup to fiddle with, and that's my fun time. All right, I've got my crimps prepped here. You see I got these Andersons, and I just clipped the slide connector part off, the slide contact, and then I just end up with these nice little crimps that are perfect for joining wires together. I've got my cables prepped here. Got them staggered so that when they're connected, they'll have insulation between them. And then, yeah, I'll hit that all up with some hot glue and should be good to go. And then tape, of course. All right, there are the crimps made. As you can see, they're pretty tight on there, and yeah, now I'm gonna close these up with hot glue. I'm gonna kind of make a hot glue cocoon in here. You know, I guess I could have slipped some shrink tube on. I had some. Ooh, classic. Oh well. I'll just do the hot glue method, and since they're offset, I think it should be okay. And then I'll, yeah, and then I'll cover it in tape. So that's it, sealed with amalgamating tape. And now I'm gonna treat it on the outside with just some regular duct tape, just to have some abrasion protection for this sealing tape. And then yeah, it should be good to go for the time being. I'll probably have to replace these cables over time. I mean, it's quite possible that salt water has wicked its way up and down the cable. So, but we'll see. Should be obvious. If I start losing power, then I'll know where to start looking anyways. Well, it ain't pretty, but I think it's electrically sound. Like I said, the white tape is just for abrasion protection. It's not actually sealing anything. It's the inside self-amalgamating tape is one level of seal, and then the hot glue surrounding the connection is another. I'm realizing now I could have also painted the connections themselves, like the crimps, with some nail polish. I've got some clear nail polish that I bought just for sealing electronic components. So I could have done that as an added step, but I think this will be okay now. So I'm gonna put this back together and continue packing up here. It's time to go. All right, time to set off here. It's about 2:30 p.m. Nordstrom Creek. Beautiful day. It's blowing out there. Got to be at least 30 knots. And you get the odd kind of gust through here with the day, but it's nice and calm here. We should be able to get out and probably just reef right off the bat. I don't even think we'll get the full sail out today. It's blowing so good out there. So all suited up. It's hot. It's like 30 degrees, but I'm wearing the suit because I know it's not going to be hot when I'm out there getting splashed and hammered by the wind. So wish me luck. Well, a bit of a false start here. We got out and our furling line pinch cleat didn't pinch, and this guy right here, I don't know if it was dry, salt water, the sand, but it didn't take. So when I let it go, it just let the whole main out right as I was like a 40 knot gust. It was crazy. It just took the sail, it ripped, chucked the solar arm into the water. Yeah, it was just an immediate bail situation. I lost my batten came shooting out, the one that I had fixed the other day, so I just turned back in and ran back in. I'll see if I can get this all straightened out here, but I got a new little wooden batten in there. I worked in some fresh water in there, some WD-40, so hopefully it'll work now. Well, we're just pulling out of Nordstrom here, and I don't know if you can tell, but it is windy. We got 40 knot gusts for sure. We got like a square meter of sail up, and we're doing 10 kilometers an hour. Oh man, big gust. Oof. Yeah, if that furling line doesn't hold, I'm just gonna rip this mast off. So I'm gonna actually tie it off somewhere here just in case. Anyways, yeah, we'll get through it here. This is what 40-ish knots looks like out there. I'm gonna keep her well furled today until we get around Clark Point maybe. I'll try to be conservative today. This is yeah, this is the type of winds where things break if they let go. So, all right, here we go. We are cruising along here. There's Clark Point, Acous Creek. That's reserve land, private property. And we're cruising along. We do have a better bottom on our sonar now, which is great. Epoxying that sounder into place seems to have improved things. And my little tiller extension's working great. So yeah, yeah, it's working pretty good. Sometimes I can, very easily take it off and on. But it's keeping my hand out of the spray, out of the waves, which is nice. Yeah, it's working pretty good. So there you go. We'll keep holding it together here. It's minimal sail out today. We really want to be cautious here. I don't want to break anything. I don't want to rip anything. this kind of conditions, it'll be hard to even motor upwind with this. So just hold it together here, get around the point, and see what happens there. Cruising. Big outflows. A lot of Acous Creek, something like that. It's kind of funny creek name. Yeah, big outflows coming out from these valleys here in the south end of Brooks. We are just flying along here, reefed. Yeah, we're cruising. Thinking, yeah, there's Jacobson Point. We might just do a quick little pass by Jacobson and then maybe head into somewhere south of Acous Peninsula there. Quite a significant historic region there. First Nation history there. Super rich, diverse, Check people. But yeah, I think we're gonna stop on a little island there somewhere off of Acous Peninsula there. There's a bunch of area there that is off ground, so you should be mindful of where you're going. A bunch of land that's the First Nations have asked to avoid. And if you come across any sort of burial mounds or any sort of artifacts from the local First Nations, don't disturb them at all. They said to take photos only, leave only footsteps. But there are islands that are off limits, like Check Island, and there's a couple others. Check the map, check the guidebook. You can call the band office and inquire further. But yeah, it's a beautiful area, very rich history here in the region. So looking forward to checking it out. First, we got to deal with these outflows here. We're making great progress. Everything's going good. Tiller extension's working nice. We're still getting a solid bottom, cruising along here. So yeah, I guess epoxying your sounder to your transducer plate there on these Hobie boats, that really works for me anyways, for getting a clearer picture. You know, maybe if the distance is a little bit different between the plate and the transducer, maybe it works better or worse, I'm not sure, but for my installation it was just terrible. I wasn't able to keep the bottom at all. And now it's significantly better. So if you're having transducer issues on these Hobie boats, not getting as clear of an image, try gluing your transducer to your transducer plate there. And you can always buy a new plate, it's not a big deal, but I think I could also just peel it off too if I really needed to, but yeah, that's worked great, so carry on. Brooks Peninsula. Approaching Acous Peninsula here. Incredible views. Nice. Beautiful place. Some of the caves that you can see here, cruising around Acous Peninsula. Beautiful islands. Some of these off limits, but beautiful to cruise through in any way. In any case, wow, look at those caves. Something so alluring about a sea cave. There's a cave at Thomas Island that we can check out. We might end up there, or just pass through, I think. But wow, look at this! What an incredible place. Wow. Imagine settling here. As the folks who lived in this area for ages and ages. What a special place to live. Wow. This is Cuddle Island, just off of Acous Peninsula. Beautiful spot here at the north end, and you get the sunrise and sunset on your spot here, if it's not cloudy and foggy, of course. Beautiful beautiful spot. Yeah, what can I say? This is definitely a sacred location. Acous Peninsula. Wow. Passing through Green Head here. It's a beautiful, calm day. Get our rudder down here, just passing through the narrows between islets here, and boy, what a beautiful place. Yeah, wow. Just cruising around the east side of Thomas Island here. I think here we have the cave that leads to, I think, an inner area, or maybe not. Oh, I must have missed it on the other side. Wow. Cool place. It is not high tide, and I don't think we can go in there. So, cool spot. We'll maybe tuck in around the corner here if it's calm, make some repairs, and carry on. Wow, cool. Well, we pulled the plug out on the battery and had a look inside our little dry bag here, and yeah, not too big of a surprise there, as saltwater and electric current has completely destroyed this connector. So we will have to fix this. I don't think it should be too big of a deal. I have to accept that this little bag, I had all this stuff wrapped up in this kind of dry bag and then sitting inside this little hatch, sitting inside that little 3D printed holder there. I think a lot of these connections are watertight. These kind of screw-on ones, this one. The only thing that's not watertight is this little fuse for the phone charger, which actually surprisingly doesn't have any corrosion inside. I had a look. And this connector here, obviously this is a solar input, so I think we're going to replace these, obviously, and then I think we're going to make it all watertight. So we're going to paint it with nail polish, and then both of those connections, the solar input and the phone, and then we're going to go ahead and just hot glue it all up as well, and that should pretty well seal it okay for at least a little while. And then we can just chuck this whole mess in there, and it can get wet. It might hopefully not matter, or at least last for a little while longer. Nothing lasts forever in saltwater environment is something I've learned. So we'll just make it as good as we can, and hopefully it'll buy us another week, another two, and we can complete this trip. It's always fun making repairs at sea, but beautiful spot for it here at Thomas Island. And behind us, we're just kind of sitting on a little patch of kelp, just holding us away, and barrier of the islands here are stopping the swell from coming in. It's a beautiful day now. It's clearing. We'll be getting power on the panels into the battery soon. All right, we made our crimps. They look pretty good. I put a little bit of fluid film on there first to maybe wick a little bit of fluid film into the cables, into the insulation there to maybe stop some corrosion if there is some salt in there. And then I cleaned up with some iso alcohol, clean the fluid film off. Maybe also help to maybe clean off any salt or whatever if there's any in there, maybe. And now I'm going to coat these connections, some nail polish, and once that dries, I'm going to set it all up in hot glue, and I'm hoping that'll work okay. Yeah, here we go. Now it's funny, this little open, it's not sealed, this little fuse holder in that same enclosure, in that same little red bag, completely dry, corrosion free, no issues at all. So isn't that funny? I don't know if it's maybe the lower voltage here or what, but I'm gonna seal this up, and yeah, I'm gonna seal it up as best I can here, and we'll keep it. Oh, we're going backwards in the rocks. All right. Anyways, I'll seal this up too. All right, we are back in action. The electronics little bundle harness has been stuffed back into place. Might just put that bag kind of on the outside just to stop water from splashing as much. There's a drain in there as well, in that little hole. And we got solar. We got, yeah, 3.3 amps coming in the front panels on the left, and we got 1.7 coming over top. So, yeah, back at it. Took me about an hour of faffing around to fix it, but got it sorted. It's right. The problem was right where I thought it was going to be, in that little bag. So that's reassuring. The fuse is good. Everything else is closed up. Now we're just cruising along. We might go check out Kyuquot here, and then we'll see. I don't think there's a little coffee shop there, but I believe it's closed. But who knows? We'll go check it out and see, and then we'll carry on. All right, back to cruising here. We got solar power coming in. We're running about 300 watts right now. 295, 300 watts. We have 300 watt limit set, and we're running our double blade RC propellers. Probably can't really see them in there, but hand shortened. And yeah, you can see we're using 300 watts, and we're cruising at about 7 kilometers per hour or so, pretty consistently. Yeah, so that's pretty good. For 300 watts, that's quite efficient. With the other prop at 300 watts, we'd be maybe doing 6.5, maybe 6. So yeah, it's an efficiency boost. One downside is that it seems to get tangled up in like the grass and stuff. The blades are long and thin, so they tend to get snarled up in grass and stuff. The other one tends to just spin the grass off for the most part, but that's a bit of a downside. But in any case, for cloudy days like today, we're not getting much on the panels. We're at a full battery though still. We're getting about 4.5 amps in, I guess, and we're using about 7. So yeah, that's the current state of affairs of the power system. Boy, it'd be nice if that restaurant at Kyuquot was open. I'd probably get a burger and a beer, maybe a couple other things. Get a coffee to top it all off, but according to the map, they are closed on Mondays. Closed Monday, Sundays, but it also says that their hours are sporadic, I hear. So I'm just gonna go check it out. Maybe miraculously they'll be open. They'll probably be closed, but at least maybe they'll have updated hours. Who knows? Maybe if they're open in the morning tomorrow, I can maybe camp out on Spring Island, and then yeah. Oh, yeah. That's my radio telling me to return to from the AIS screen. Literally, got one boat past us. I guess that must have been its way. One fishing vessel. Yeah, so we'll see. I don't think it'll be closed. Rather, I don't think it'll be open. I'm not holding up my hopes. that's okay. We got lots of food, and yeah, I was hoping for that sweet northwesterly to keep up, but it looks like we had a change in weather systems here. Back to clouds, boy. The real sunniness has been not long lasting here. I was hoping once I rounded Brooks it would be nothing but sun, and that's the way it looked yesterday and the day before. But today we're back to fog. Maybe I'll ask some friends back home to have a look at the weather radar, satellite imagery, and make an assessment of the weather situation here for me. But anywho, we'll keep plodding along. I was hoping to, maybe have a couple days of covering more ground. Covering Acous Peninsula in a single day. I was gonna maybe try to go all the way down Nootka on the outside in a single day. But we'll see. I mean, even with this kind of sun, if we're cruising all day, it's 6-7 kilometers per hour. We can do 70 kilometers a day in a 10-hour day. So, assuming nothing breaks and you don't take too many stops. But we've been taking lots of stops, and things have been occasionally breaking. So, well, overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the power system. I mean, it's really, I want to say it's that corroded connection there. That's basically been the only failure of the solar power system. And I mean, that was, when I put that together, I thought, you know what, this is probably going to get wet and it's probably going to get corroded. But we'll see. And sure enough, it did. So, all in all, I mean, I put it together pretty quick before my trip. So, yeah, this is all kind of a test. The system really, like, I think this whole wiring harness I'll remake, and take the things I've learned, make sure everything is immediately sealed. Anything that's not in the battery case will just be immediately sealed and enclosed, so that it's just salt waterproof. It's waterproof, water resistant. Nothing lasts forever. But anywho, coming up on a bunch of sea otters here. See them there, the little guys bobbing around. Little sea otters. Hello. They're all over the place. There's so many sea otters now. You can hear them when you're camped at night. You can hear them tapping their little rocks against those shells and the sea urchins that they collect. They keep little shells in their pockets. They got like a little pocket in their fur just for their little snacking rocks. So pretty cute. There's a whole bunch of them here. It's like a little colony of them on these rocks just north of Kyuquot here. Cute. Give them some space and carry on. Kyuquot in sight. There you go. Approaching from the north. Under motor power now. And we'll see what we get. If there's anywhere to get a hot meal, I am going to get it. I wouldn't mind a meal of some sort. If there's no food to be had, no beer, no coffee, I will eat my can of tuna and crackers and carry on to the next location. And yeah, won't see any sort of services until Tofino, I think. Another maybe. Well, here we are, pulling into Kyuquot. Oopsitas. There's a sign over there. It says store. I wonder if it's open. I'm gonna check out the coffee shop, little restaurant. Maybe it'll be open. Who knows? Let's go have a look and see. Cool little spot though. Good morning. It's Tuesday the 13th, is it? It is. And we're heading south. We left Spring Island this morning. It's 11:30 now. We've been underway for about an hour or so. Cloudy today. You can just about see the sun coming through. Getting about 4 amps on the panels, so not too bad. And yeah, we're just passing some islands here. I think this is Thornton Island. Let's see here. Is this Thornton Island? Yeah. Barrier Islands here. There they are. You can see not a whole lot of wind today. Light northwesterly, northerly coming in. Trying to make the most of it today. We're tempted to pull into Kyuquot and go for dinner, but you know, the timing just didn't work out. And looks like the weather systems are changing by the weekend now. It's Tuesday, and by Saturday, Sunday, southerlies are coming in, so not great. I don't want to get stuck north of Tofino and southerlies. I mean, I could take the inside routes around, you know, Vargas and whatnot, but I'd rather not do that if I don't need to. Stay on the outside. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'd rather stay on the outside if I can. So we're gonna sort of book it, I think, for the next few days. We've enjoyed a pretty casual pace on the water for the last week and a half, 2 weeks really, really the whole time, to be honest. Since I got to McNeil, it's been pretty lax. So yeah, I definitely could have shaved a couple days off. Maybe would have done an extra night in McNeil and then skipped Hardy entirely. I think that would have been a good idea. Getting in and out of Hardy is kind of a pain in the ass, and if you can just jump across the bay, I think that's the way to do it. Or just go straight across to God's Pocket there. Yeah, anyways, it's all good. Yeah, we carry on south. Might get to Nootka Island today, third beach, maybe something around there. Maybe Nuučaan, something in that region. Catalina Island if we don't get as far as we'd like today, but we'll be passing Rugged Point, which is an incredible spot. Definitely would recommend checking that out if you haven't been out this way. Rugged Point's a beautiful beach. I think one of the nicest beaches on Vancouver Island, I would say. Just a huge sandy beach. It's like 2 kilometers long, and there's a couple beaches there, some like smaller beaches. You can land on the north side or the south side, depending on the swell and conditions. There's campsites there. It's a provincial park. Beautiful place. And there's a trail. You can hike all along the shoreline there. So beautiful place. Grassy islet out in the bay. There is another beautiful little volcanic island that you can camp on. At the south end there's a little shell beach. Wow, beautiful place. But I think we'll passing all that today. We're gonna probably try to stay offshore somewhat, and I don't know, there's like 5 knots of wind right now. Not a whole lot at all, so maybe if the sun burns off these clouds, and maybe we'll get some inflows. I don't know. Yeah, not great weather now again. God darn it. I kind of missed my windows here on the west coast. It feels like a little bit. I mean, I got a pretty sweet sail out of Brooks there a couple days ago. That was gnarly. I just wish that the northwesterly and the high pressure kept up, but it's getting into mid-late August now. Fogust is what they, you know, say out here on the west coast. The sea fog will be a thing, and yeah, also just changing weather systems now. We're gonna have, you know, southerlies pushing in now, and well, we'll see. Hopefully we'll duck out in Tofino for a couple days. I got some family coming to visit, and maybe we'll just wait the southerlies out, and then we'll get a nice big push last week. Tofino into, probably go right over the Broken Group, just right over Barkley Sound there. Maybe Kyuquot Beach, maybe we'll just continue to Susiat. We'll see. lots to get to before then, though. Once we get to Nootka, we gotta get over Nootka, and then we gotta get across the Hobie Peninsula. And I'd like to stop into the hot springs at Hauset, but or one of the hot springs there, anyways. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the timing works out. We'll see what the weather is, the conditions. Everything is weather dependent here. Our entire timeline. So yeah, but yeah, everything's looking good. I whittled me up a little fishing stick that I can jam into the holes. I'll show it to you later. But yeah, solar's working. Everything else is working. Everything's holding together for the time being, and calm seas today, so it'll be probably a long day. Put on an audiobook and kick it. All right, catch you guys later. We're just off Tachu Point now, and I was just marveling at the waves here. Looked really nice for surfing. There's a big shelf that extends out here from Tachu Point, and we're gonna kind of skirt the edge of it, make sure there's no surf there. But yeah, the waves rolling in there look like they're breaking for quite some time, so it might be a nice little spot. I think there's a place you could land here on the beach and not too much surf, maybe, but do some more digging there anyways. Yeah. All right, we gotta watch our depth here. We're at the tip of Nootka here, Ferrer Point, to our left side. Beautiful looking trees along the shoreline here, the low-lying shore here, the low shore with a mountain in the background. Looks like a beautiful place here. We're 5 kilometers from Third Beach. That's where we're gonna pull in tonight. It's pretty calm out here. Not really any wind at all. Maybe a few knots northwesterly. Yeah, it's been a day of, it's been an afternoon of pedaling here. Pedaling, sailing, and motor at the same time for a little bit, and then the wind's picked up there in the middle of the channel, crossing from Catalia. And we got a little bit of an inflow, which was nice. Managed to sail along for a little bit. The wind is, all but disappeared now. But I'm trying to just keep it on the pedals to get us in here the last 5K and save the battery. We're at 37 volts. It's about 50% charge, accounting for the reserve for the electronics. So, yeah, want to leave a little bit in the bank for tomorrow. We're getting 2.5 amps rate of charge right now, so we're not going to get a full battery today at this rate, that's for sure. It's kind of, maybe it's too late in the day now. Even if the sun was fully shining, it'd be hard to get full power, but you never know. Maybe tomorrow morning will be sunny, who knows? Probably not, but that's okay. I mean, even if we get 2.5 amps, at 10 hours, that's a full battery for us. So we will get about 1,000 watt hours a day, even in the sun. So, or even in the clouds. Yeah, that's pretty good. At 150 to 200 watt level of assist, that boosts our speed up significantly. So all in all, it's still pretty sweet. I'd have no brakes at all from pedaling if it wasn't for the solar. So even if it's cloudy, it's still worthwhile. So anyways, it's beautiful out here, nice and calm. Might squeak a little bit of a closer look here at Ferrer Point. And yeah, just pedal in, just watch for rocks and enjoy the sights and sounds. So this is the panels set up to try to get as much solar power as we can. You see we're in a bit of a bright spot, at least we were. It's not terribly bright now, but the clouds are kind of broken over there, so as we slowly make our way into the spot here, we got the panels angled as best as we can, and now we're getting a total of 3 amps. So there you go. It makes some difference. I mean, it makes the most difference when it's directly sunny. When it's cloudy, the angles, it doesn't make much of a difference at all. But when there's sunny periods, the ideal is if you can get, if it's like lightly overcast and you get a clear spot where the sun shines directly on the panels and you've got the overcast scatter light, then you can actually get more power than you do when the sun is out directly on the panels alone on a totally clear day. If you can get like a hole in the clouds just to fall onto your panels where you are and then still capture all the obscured light from the general clouds, then you can actually get more that way. So how about that? That's what we'll hope for, a beam of a hole in the clouds that we can follow, that will follow us. We can double dip on the solar energy, but it's okay. I think we'll actually end the day with about around what we had. I think we had around 38 volts this morning, so if we end around 38 volts, that's pretty sweet. Leave some in the bank, because well, I gotta get around Kyuquot, and not a lot of good places to pull in there, so it'd be nice to have a reserve bit of battery, or at least a full battery, or as full as I can have. If the wind starts blowing the opposite way or something. It looks a little bit unsettled to the south. As you can see, it looks somewhat unsettled to the south, definitely more gray, so I don't know if that's coming our way or what, but yeah, it'd be good to have kind of as much power as we can to get around Kyuquot, and then once we're further south, we can start taking the inside route around like Vargas and Flores Islands to Tofino if need be, if it's really gnarly out. But I think we'd rather stay out where the wind is, unless it's a really big southerly, then we'll probably tuck in. But it's probably not as bright there in those passageways either, unless it's sunny. Anyways, that's all I got. Keep on cruising along. We're at 3.1 amps now. Yoo-hoo! We've been blessed with the sun. Look at that. My wish came true here. We're charging. We got 4 amps on the left, 2.4 on the right, 2.3. Yeah, nice. We're going to take our time getting in today, taking advantage of this sunshine here. Maybe we will be able to get near a full charge. We're at 38.5 volts right now, so yeah, if we can charge at 6 amps for an hour, that'll give us a quarter charge just in an hour. So who knows, maybe we'll get up over 40 volts again. That'd be awesome, because it's quite cloudy to the south, and I think it's going to be darker days ahead here weather-wise, so might as well bob around, enjoy the sunshine, and charge up the batteries. I'll be pulling into Third Beach, which I think we're kind of around the corner, so I think I'll be hidden from the sun there. 6:20 right now, so I'll wait and pull in around 7 probably, 7 or so. About 3 kilometers from Third Beach, so nice and close, no worries. Just slowly pedal along here, and when there's moments of brighter sun, I'm actually kind of pointing the boat directly sideways to the sun, which is not exactly on my course, but I'm still heading down, and then when the clouds kind of cloud over, I'd point more towards the beach. And yeah, that's the way it is here, just milking the energy from the sun as best we can. We'll need it tomorrow, I think. Oh, we are on Third Beach. Hit the trail. Bit of a surf landing here today, but I just kind of waited outside the surf for a moment to push in, and then a mad scramble to get the boat ashore, and then get it on the rollers, roll it up the thing. It's pretty steep here. Doesn't really look steep, but it's steep enough. It makes it a pain in the butt to get it up and over, but we did it. And yeah, it's one thing I definitely want to improve. I'm thinking like a little hand winch of some sort, like a rope hand winch or some kind of winch that I can, tie to like an anchor or a log or something, quickly deploy, and then just yank the boat up on a winch. Something that I can crank, or maybe even a motor winch would be cool. Something electric powered, and then maybe like even getting some like wheels, some better wheels, or like a wheel tray or something for the boat. Something that I could, I don't know what, some kind of rollers on like an axle, maybe 2 of them, that I could put on before I land, and then when I land I can just yank it up on wheels. I don't know, we'll see. The Hobie wheels kind of suck when it's loaded. Like, I've got it loaded, it doesn't really work on the factory wheels. So anyways, yeah, here we are, we made it. I'm gonna make camp and have dinner. It's morning time here, Third Beach. We got a little bit of sunshine, how about that? Where's the boat? Oh no! This is evidence marks here of where the boat is. Trails, trails, trails. Ding. I'm moving it. The surf on the side is just kind of unpleasant, and I want to have a pleasant launch. It's not too bad, but you get the odd wave that kind of stands up like a wall right at shore, and you just know that's going to be exactly what happens when I go to launch. So I'm rolling this sucker down the beach, this little northern. I actually pulled in here at first. When I first came in from the north, I came into this little cove, and I thought, well, I want to be the south end of the beach. I want to catch the sun, the evening sun. Well, it's getting cloudy in the evening. There's no real sun to be caught. But anyways, I'm rolling it now here. I'm going to show you guys how it rolls. Once it's on flat on the fenders, it rolls pretty good. So on any sort of slope, it's a pain in the ass, but I'll show you guys here. So yeah, it's on the fenders. They're underneath there, and you just kind of give it a shove for the most part, and she just rolls along. Just rolls right along. Look at that. So not bad considering how heavy it is. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep on shoving it, get to this little cove, and finish my gruel and hit the road. And just like that, we're getting sunshine. Boom, look at that. 6 amps of charge. Maybe we'll get a full battery today. I'm just finishing my breakfast here, and yeah, we're at 40 volts now. I reckon it's gonna be a nice day after all here. What do you know? You just never know what you're gonna get on the west coast here. Wind forecasts have been generally wrong the last week, really, since I left Hardy, really. Since I ran at Cape Scott, the weather's been unpredictable. The winds have been not there. They randomly appeared, and then they're not there most of the time. Anyways, I'm gonna soak up this sun while I can here. Weather changing for the weekend, and just hope we don't get easterlies in the Juan de Fuca. That would be truly sad, because there's nowhere to go, nowhere to pull in. Well, not many places to pull in anyways, so if there's easterlies in Juan de Fuca, we'll just have to wait them out. I'll have to hold up somewhere and wait them out. Usually they don't last too long in the summertime, only when it's kind of bad weather. So anyways, getting some sun, look at that, love it. All right, we're out on the water, Third Beach here. When I came in yesterday in the surf, I actually forgot to lift my rudder, and I released it so that it can move up on its own, but I guess it just got snarled up in the surf, and it snapped the pin, the 3D printed one, to PETG. So I popped in another pin, but I didn't actually check the steering. The strings had actually loosened up on the one side of the screw. So when I got out in the water today, I launched in that calm bay, which is a good thing because my steering was all wonky. I couldn't really steer fully onto one side, so I was in that little calm pocket, and I just crawled out the back there and loosened that one screw, pulled the string tight, tightened it up. That was it. So always good before you launch to check steerage, I'm in the habit now of checking the motor before I actually get in the water. I just make sure that it's connected, that the kill switch is on, and actually spin it up for a second before I get in the water so that I'm not, troubleshooting in the surf or in the water. Yeah, checking steering, that's another one I should really check probably too. Anywho, yeah, I kind of scattered clouds today. Looks like we're sailing into a little bit of a dark cloud there, but it looks clear beyond. So yeah, we'll just go along the Nootka coast here. Might pull into Calvin Creek or Calvin River. There's some falls there that apparently are quite scenic, and we'll see what the surf is like. We're somewhat low on water now, but at Escalante there's a river at Escalante as well. So that's I think where I'm going to land tonight. Escalante. We'll see. We possible stops are Calvin Creek today, Kyuquot. It'd be cool to go see the lighthouse and see the location of the First Nations settlement there. That was the single Spanish colony in the 1800s there. The Spanish had a colony at Kyuquot. I think it's a plaque commemorating it or something like this. I think George Vancouver and the Spanish fella, I forget his name, is a long one. They had some sort of conference there with the First Nations chief Makina, and they ironed out the treaty, I guess, and the Spaniards decided to not proceed with a war over this area or something like this. I'm not a historian, just what I've read a little bit in the guidebook, so you should read more if you, or maybe you want to tell me more about it in the comments. I'm always curious for local knowledge. Anywho, we'll continue, southwards today. Maybe 3 knots of wind right now. Again, not much, a fart of wind. Great kayaking weather. I was talking to some tandem kayakers at the beach there, and yeah, kayakers set off early to get ahead of the wind, right? To make some way before the winds come in. And I'm like farting around, waiting for the winds to show up. So kind of opposite schedules, I guess. This is a kayak of sorts, but I'm hunting for the wind, at least, especially if it's a helpful wind. So yeah, it should be. They're calling for 10 to 20, except variable near the coast. So I don't know. Do I go offshore a kilometer or two and then try to hope that there's wind there? I don't know. It doesn't look particularly windy offshore either from here, but what can you see when you're 2 feet off the water? I guess it would have been handy with the drone. Maybe I could go up, maybe if 100 meters or something, and look off, or however the max altitude is. I could see maybe if there's some squalls further out, or it'd actually be handy for spotting landings too, a little drone, but decided it was just too much. I've got too much gear already. The drone will get wet, salty, sandy. It's just not a good environment on a completely exposed deck. I don't have really anywhere I can keep it safe in gnarly weather. And gnarly weather is when you want to scope out your landing. So probably would have just destroyed it. Would have landed in the sea or something, and it would have been toast. So anywho, that's all I got to say for now. And enjoying this little sunshine here. We're gonna keep on cruising. Yeah. There it is, Calvin Falls. Yeah, looks like a pretty nice little spot. I don't know if we're gonna go ashore. There's a fair bit of surf, and yeah, we're floating here in 8 feet of water, and there's a fair bit of surf. I think there's a spot to the south. There's a channel between the rocks, but I think I may just carry on. There will be a river at Escalante Point today for me to bathe in. The spot does look quite nice, but we'll save it for when I'm doing for when I'm doing the Nootka Trail. I think for now we will carry on and pull out of here before we are met with surf. Bayo Point. Bayo Point. I don't know how to say it. There it is. You can see way off there, there's a break out there somewhere. I don't know if you can see the surf, but it's surfing out there. So there's a big reef off of this spot here, and yeah, you want to go inside the channel here. Inside this channel. Anyways, we are getting 5 amps in charge. We are cruising at, let me tell you what our power output is, 220 watts, which is pretty good. So we're net right now. We're just about net or so. We got the sail up here. We got a bit of a tailwind, maybe 5 knots of wind, maybe 5 to 8 knots of wind, in my guess. We are doing 6.5 kilometers per hour. There's a current here. I noticed back off the point there when we were in that channel. We're still in the channel now, but they're like we should be going a bit faster, probably a knot or 2 faster with this amount of wind and motor power. So the water's clear. No grass on there. No grass anywhere, I think. So it must be current flowing around Nootka. It is going to high tide now, so that wouldn't make sense. Don't really know how it's going to flow. One of these ways it's going to start going the other way on a flood. I don't know where that point is. I can't look it up. Don't have internet. Anywho, that's it. The southern end of Nootka Island. This is Makina Point. Lots of cool geological features along the shoreline here. Looks like caves and interesting shape and color in the rock. Beautiful place. Got a couple rocks here around the point to get around. Pull into Kyuquot and then cross over. You can see Acous Peninsula off in the distance. Running down its length tomorrow there. We are at Kyuquot. There's a lighthouse, the south end of Nootka. And we are coming in to have a look. The public dock here and a little walkway to check out. Lots of fish boats off the point here. Everyone's got their downriggers in. See the fish down there. You can see schools of them. Looks like. Yeah, maybe we'll get the rod in after we leave here. Get the stick in. Oh yeah. So I gotta show you guys my fishing stick back here. Maybe we'll be able to pull a little fish up for dinner tonight. That would be nice. Do something fresh. It's been a while. Come in and check it out. Alright, we're back on the water here. It's like a true westerly coming in, almost the southwesterly now. Yeah, westerly I would say. We are cruising over to Escelante. I'll find somewhere over there. And we're making pretty good foot here. 9 kilometers an hour, 10 kilometers an hour, we're sailing upwind. Best as you can here. We are just cruising. We'll fall short a little bit on this tack. See what happens when we get a little closer. Maybe we can round up a little bit, maybe we'll tack, maybe we'll just motor the last little bit. any case, it's only 6 kilometers to go here. Not far at all. Over to Escalante. There you go. If you're passing through, I would recommend stopping in and checking out the lighthouse, going to the old church there, read about the history of the region. I would say it's worth checking out if you're in the area. And then you can stop at Sugar's food shack there. You can grill you up a burger, a hot dog. I have a burger and a hot dog and a can of soda. Not really a soda guy, but now and again, here's the spot. So yeah, we're carrying on. Maybe so we'll get there at 6. Maybe we'll chuck the line in so you can pull up some kind of bottom fish. Yeah, fry something up. I don't want anything too big now. I don't want to have to deal with a giant slab of fish, but we'll see. I cook something up tonight. Cook something up fresh. Anyways, yeah, we'll see. See what tonight holds. We'll see what tomorrow holds. We gotta get through the. We gotta get around the Acous Peninsula. I can't really see it at the moment. There's some sea fog that's rolled in, so. But should be able to get around it and over to the hot springs, Ramsey Hot Springs. I think it's about 50 kilometers, 45 kilometers from Escalante, so I think that's doable, especially if you have a little bit of wind. If this wind keeps up, I might have to kind of pull up wind there to get over around the peninsula, but then once we're around the peninsula, it should be downwind run, hopefully, at least a beam reach over to the hot spring. Booked up there for the night, and then who knows, maybe Tofino maybe Friday, but we'll probably stay somewhere outside of town Friday night, and then maybe we'll come into Tofino Saturday. That's the plan, anyways. Beautiful area here. The beauty continues. All right. There's a nice big eagle. We are crossed over into Escalante Point. We are just at the mouth of the river here. It's a beautiful little spot. Managed to work our way in through the rocks. There are some rocks in the middle of the channel, but overall not too bad. Yeah, I was gonna poke around here. 6 p.m. Might see how far up we can get. Maybe tap into some fresh water. Fill up the water jugs. At the moment it's quite nice here. I'll probably just pull up right here for the night. I think that should be okay. Although, yeah, I see a bit of a rock shelf down in there. Just want to make sure we're not on a shelf in the morning at low tide, but it's actually not that low tomorrow. Now the low tide's getting later and later in the day, so don't mind that. But yeah, we'll see here. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get fresh water here very easily. We'll see how far up we can get here. Beautiful spot though. Escalante Beach. Beautiful sunset tonight. Too bad I didn't park the boat in the sun. That's okay. Oh boy, what a spot. Little spot in the river here. Super nice. I like the river spots. Another day in paradise here. Escalante Point here at the river mouth. We're gonna dip this sucker in and carry on around Acous Peninsula today. If we're lucky, get all the way across to the hot springs. We got the higher power prop installed. We've had the low power RC blades in the last couple of days of cloud, but today the sun is out, we're full battery, so I might be cruising at higher powers today, we'll see. And yeah, flip this thing in and be on our way. All right, see if we can get out of here today. Tide's definitely lower by about a meter, a bit less, but we'll see here. Depth sounder scrambled, hasn't got its brains yet. That's okay. Nice and slow. Your eyes peeled here. Didn't note the location of a few rocks on the way in, but generally it seemed like there was a clear path out. So Escelante River here, beautiful spot to pull in. If you can get in here, it's nice and protected. Great place to pull in if you're a kayaker, small craft, even like a small boat. Probably get in here okay. If you have someone on the bow watching. We're at about 10 feet below us now. In this particular spot here. Let's get a little more power on the motor here. I'm gonna watch the swell. The swell will reveal where the rocks are underwater to a certain degree. So look for breaking waves or discoloration, kind of turmoil on the surface of the water. As the swell comes over, it'll show you where there's items to watch out for, low-lying rocks and stuff like that. But I think we're good now. Look at that. No problem. Got out of the river okay. So yeah, I think we'll continue between the island here, between Escelante Island and the main island here, and yeah, make our way around the peninsula. Looks like we got a beautiful day today. Hopefully some winds will pick up here. Hopefully, yeah, not too much of a southwesterly, hopefully more of a westerly or northwesterly, so we can get around the peninsula without having to fight too much. But for now, we're cruising. Kick her up into here, higher speed, 170 watts. We're going to be cruising probably at 6 kilometers an hour or so. And let's see here, speed is ramping up. Yeah, let's go up a little bit higher. We've got plenty of juice coming in the panels today, so we can afford to be a little spendy with our power now. Keeping our eyes peeled for kelp. 250 watts, we're cruising 6.5 kilometers per hour, not too bad. I'll take it. Nootka lighthouse off in the distance. Beautiful spot. Very friendly lighthouse keepers. I'd recommend going and signing the guest book. And yeah, that's it. Another day of adventuring today. What awaits us? We'll see. A month in here to this adventure, and yeah, got a lot of gratitude for what I've experienced here. Having the time to come out and do this. You know, I'm lucky I'm self-employed, I can close my business, and you know, for only hopefully only a monetary penalty. I hope my dear clients will come back to me when I return. And yeah, my friends supported me to get ready and are taking care of home for me, and my roommates. Yeah, a lot of gratitude for everyone. All my folks at home, my loved ones that helped me pack and prepare for this trip. And yeah, got a lot to be grateful for. This landscape also just keeps on giving, endless giving, and what can I do to reciprocate, Something to think about. But yeah, feeling lots of gratitude today. We'll carry on. Tread lightly and respect the landscape that we move through. That's my thought for today. All right, here we go. Motor sailing south-southwest, and we've got a true southerly today. Southerlies came early. I was messaging with someone back home, got them to look at some alternative forecasts, and they were calling for southerlies Saturday, Sunday, potentially. Well, it's Thursday here, and we got a true southerly off the Heshkuyt. So I don't know if this is an inflow here into Lakewood Sound, or rather Kyuquot Sound. But yeah, maybe it's an inflow. I don't know. But again, the marine forecast. Honestly, for the last week, you could take the marine forecast, and the complete opposite direction is you'd be more accurate assuming that it's going to be the complete opposite direction with the marine forecast, with the weather forecast on the radio. At least close to shore like I am. I guess I'm under the effect of a lot of inflows and outflows, and wind working its way around land. These sorts of things. But I mean, even I've been a kilometer offshore a fair bit in the last week, and just they keep calling for 10 to 20 knots, and it's been narrowly 10 knots for maybe half an hour. It's been 5 knots. It's been nothing. It's been yeah. So I guess I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I guess. Yeah, it's always good to listen to the radio forecast. However, don't not go out if they're calling for a gale. It's worth going out and having a look. Obviously, be cautious. If it looks like it's a gale, then act accordingly. But they were calling for gales for 3 days, and there was nothing at all, save for the very tip of Brooks when I was coming in. Well, I was around in Brooks, but I mean it's a pretty isolated. Location. Anywho, yeah, we got a southerly blown over the peninsula here. I'm hoping that right now we're actually able to sail just barely. We're motor sailing here. I'm hoping that once we get further towards the end, it'll maybe shift. Maybe it'll shift to more of a true southerly, and then we can head eastwards to Vargas and or what is it? Not Vargas, Flores. We're heading to the hot springs, Ramsey Hot Springs today. Maybe we can close haul eastwards in this apparent southeasterly, so southerly. Anyways, yeah, conditions changed here, but we're clipping along. I got the motor sail going. We're doing 7 kilometers an hour here, so not too bad. Got the sail reefed, so it's not too wet. And we're cruising along. Acous Peninsula. There you go. Whew. All right, what a slog that was. Just off the I guess actually southwestern tip of northwestern tip of Acous. Rounding, and we're still on the north side. I haven't passed lighthouse yet. Escelante Cove over there. To the right, left. It's a long I think I'm losing my mind. Yeah, that was a slog. Upwind. We're kind of sailing upwind a little bit there. Sailing motor, pedaling all 3 at once. We got the motor just cruising along here, helping us through this headwind. Super nice. Making relatively short work out of here. Whales off in the distance. This is their blow spouts. Yeah, it's a slog here, but we're getting it. Getting upwind. I just hope that once we round Estevan Point here, once we pass the tip of Acous Point Peninsula, that maybe we can close haul up to the hot springs. We'll see. Got arrival time 6:30 p.m. And yeah, so it's not too bad at this speed. We're doing about 5 kilometers per hour of wind right now. It's nice that we have the swell at our back at least now, the northerly swell. And yeah, who knows? Maybe it'll turn into a northerly at some point. Wouldn't that be nice? At least a westerly would be helpful. Honestly, even the southwesterly I can maybe make do with, but the southeasterly is not going to do today. And right now we got a southeasterly. So. Carry on. We're getting power into the panels here at least. We're getting about 6 amps to charge, so we're finding about maybe 7-8 amps out right now. So that's not too bad. We can cruise like this all day long, basically. At 39 volts right now, so 80% charge, so we're in good shape overall. And yeah, now that we got the swell at our back, at least we're not getting side swell and head-on wind chop. And we're getting kind of lifted every so often. We can see what's ahead of us here. There's a bunch of reefs that extend off to the end of the point here. So you gotta be wide unless it's really calm. You really know what you're getting into. But I chose to stay wide today. I think it was a good call. The wind's probably a little more steady out here, anyways. Whatever the direction. Anyways, yeah, we carry on. Making good progress. It's 1 p.m. Little lunch at sea, why not here? Going for the protein shake in the breakfast cup, breakfast pot with a little knockoff Snickers, Dollarama special. Yeah, I'm glad I got the solar panel and motors here. We're doing, oh wow, we're getting 12 amps right now. It's a perfect amount of direct sun with scattered cloud. We're getting more than this is probably the most I've ever seen actually from the overhead panel. Almost 4 amps from the panel on the overhead. That's incredible. Wow. Yeah, look at that, 4 amps on the overhead panel. Probably can't see that, but yeah, we're getting almost 12 amps right now. So we're energy surplus right now. We're putting back into the battery. We're cruising at how fast are we? About 5 kilometers an hour here. So yeah, boy. Yeah, I would be slogging upwind right now, pedaling here, or tacking back and forth. And either way, it'd be a slog. It'd be a long day. I'm not sure I'd make it to Ramsey Hot Spring today if it wasn't for the motor drive. So there you go. It pays off. I'm gonna fuel up myself and maybe get back on the pedals here after lunch. Estevan Point. Weird looking fish. What up, dude? What is up? My dude. Look at that thing. That's a strange looking fish. Huh. There you go. Caves, just north of Ramsey Hot Springs. Getting close here. Gonna go check out these caves on the shore. We did it. We went around Escelante Peninsula and we'll be at the hot springs tonight. I'm looking forward to that. Oh boy. Pulled so hard I yanked my handle. Don't want to lose my boat here. I want to check out these sea caves, but it's a gnarly entrance.
What the heck is that? What the heck kind of boat is that? I've seen something like that for my life. Wow.
Just making a little bit of water here in the rain. Catching off the gutter. It's working great. Yum. Fishy. Ooh. Wow. Cooked. No one's here. Oh, tantalizing. Pea soup today. Cruising along. Cruising past Flores Island. It's foggy. No visuals to be seen other than the sea and the fog. Cruising along 6 or so kilometers per hour under sail. Batteries at about 40 volts, just under 40 volts. We're charging at just over 3 amps. Yeah, we're trying to keep her full today. It's Saturday here. We're coming into Tofino and we're expecting some rain tomorrow. Rain and southeast coming in. So, and we got it scheduled to go around from Tofino to Kyuquot tomorrow. So it'll be about 45, maybe 50 kilometers day, and yeah, it's gonna be raining for sure, they say. Perhaps even a southerly. That would be a real bummer, but we'll give it a shot. Hopefully at least there's not much wind, but we'll just have to see what it gives us. Worst case, we can leave it in Tofino and take off from there in a few days and find somewhere to leave it. Yeah, see how it goes though. We're cruising along today. Should get to Tofino maybe 6 p.m. or so. It's 1 p.m. now. Just keep on cruising here. Not being tempted by any spots to go in and check out because there's nothing to see. It's even visibility maybe 100 meters, maybe, probably less. It's foggy out here, that's for sure. So maybe it'll burn off here in the afternoon. But so far, fog. At least we got a bit of a tailwind though. Got a little bit of a northerly here, so happy for that. We can cruise along and charge up the batteries a little bit. This is the current visibility that we have. Maybe 60 feet. Can barely make out there's an island there. It's about I don't know, maybe 100 meters away, yeah. That's the way it looks today. Wow. It rains here today. Stormy southerlies in the forecast. We'll see what happens when we get around the corner here. If we can get around Cox Point and it's not too bad, we'll keep going. If it's a big wind chop or what, maybe we'll have to turn around, but see how she goes. We got to radar beaches, decided to turn around and glad because we get pretty big gusts here and it's just sleet and rain. We had thunderstorms rolling in, so we gave it a shot, but it's not in the cards for us today. I normally just pull ashore at radar beaches and try again tomorrow, something like that, but we're actually turning around because I got family on the way, so I don't want to be camped out somewhere in the inaccessible or at least not very accessible in this terrible weather, so turning around.
Hi, Phil.
In this video, we go from Nordstrom Creek on Brooks Peninsula to Acous Peninsula, and then to Springer Island just outside of Kyuquot. From there, we continued to Third Beach on Nootka Island. From there, we continued to Escelante River, just across from Kyuquot and Nootka Lighthouse. Then from there, we continued around the Kyuquot Peninsula and to Hot Springs Cove. We spent 2 nights there and then continued to Tofino, where I spent 1 night in Tofino. Once I arrived in Tofino, I stayed 1 night there and 2 nights in Ucluelet before continuing again. This is the second last video in this series. The next video we'll have from Tofino to Victoria, which will be the last video. Thanks for watching so far, and I hope you've been enjoying it. Thank you.